We do have F35 stuff real quick.
Okay.
Because it's interesting. I'm very interested in this whole story.
Yeah.
Because they recently just...
Thanks, he says.
yeah.
Welcome to data.
They recently just released the quote-unquote redacted version of the 911 call, which is hilarious. So, long and short of it is...
The 911 call?
Yeah.
From the person who was in the plane?
We'll get into it, yes.
Get the fuck out of here! What do you mean?
Let me explain.
He's in a plane!
He was.
Oh my god.
So,
okay.
Earlier this week, or was it like last Friday, I think.
Something like that.
Something like that. But an
last 10 days.
F35, I think it was a B. It's like the new model. It's not the ones that the Swedes have.
This is a 5th generation air fighter.
Yeah,
it's I don't know.
Weird.
Whatever the fuck that means.
It's
Brian
crazy
will know.
shit.
Brian, correct us. Make us feel dumb for not respecting this airplane.
It's a $1.2 trillion project from when it first started.
The overall project.
Yeah,
okay.
to create and get these things up and running. Let me pull up some of my things here.
Oh, like F-35 in general, or just this 5th generation version of it?
The overall F-35 project.
How long have we been flying F-35s?
I don't... Ooh, that's a good question. I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know shit about airplanes. They're all this, why I am here? Why are you here? Is that what you're asking me?
Why I am here? This is a good question. Why are any of us here?
I'm not sure, but I appreciate you being here.
Yeah. Is this the article? Okay. So the long and short of it is we lost an F-35. It was on a training mission out of one of the Carolinas, South Carolina, and for whatever reason, the pilot was forced to eject. And the plane went missing, and the U.S. government decided to put out like an SOS and ask the public to call a hotline if they would have found this jet. So people did, and nobody really saw the whole thing, but they did end up finding the crash site for it. Let me see if I can pull this up here. They found the wreckage site in South Carolina. After the pilot ejected, there was a 911 call made because he had just ejected out of an airplane and landed in somebody's backyard.
He had he called from their phone, or he
called from their phone.
Okay.
Went into somebody's house. The homeowner called 911. It was very, very confusing. I did not have a whole lot of faith in the 911 dispatchers.
Who discovered the ejected pilot of an F-35B Lightning II fighter jet in their backyard.
So I think
he saw them in the backyard. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
The address of the emergency.
Let's turn this up just a little bit.
Can you tell me exactly what happened?
I guess we got a pilot at our house and he says he got ejected. So he ejected.
He got ejected. That's so awesome.
And he got ejected.
Oh, that's so... I don't know what I was expecting.
But not that?
No. It wasn't that, though. And that makes it so much better. He said he was ejected? That's so fucking awesome.
And the video will show, like, the area of the crash site that the government has essentially set up shop at.
He gets ambulance, please.
I'm sorry, what happened?
We got a pilot in the house. And I guess he landed in my backyard, and we were trying to see if we could get a ambulance to the house, please.
Okay, so like, what is the phone number that you're calling from? Okay, we're getting help on the way. Give me just a moment.
Yeah, no problem.
So you kind of hear him in the background a little bit, but eventually he takes over.
Okay, are you with the patient now?
Yeah.
And that's supposedly the debris field from the plane.
Yes. Yeah, there's a bunch of down trees, there's some burned stuff.
It is very Shanksville-esque.
But you don't see any things.
Okay, how old is the patient?
You'd expect there to be some debris.
We had a military jet crash. I'm the pilot. We need to get rescue rolling. I'm not sure where the airplane is. It would have crash landed somewhere. I ejected.
Okay, how far did he fall?
I mean, this lady is not understanding
She
what's
has no
going on.
fucking idea what's going on.
Wait a minute. None of this makes sense.
No.
I was at 2,000 feet.
Okay, and what caused the fall?
You dumb bitch.
An aircraft failure.
I ejected from the airplane, like I said.
Okay, is there any serious bleeding?
I don't know. I can't see myself.
No, you look fine.
That guy's retarded too. Look down,
What did the
bitch.
other person say?
I feel okay. My back is hurt.
I fucking bet.
Okay.
Has there been a report of an airplane crash?
Just how bad did I fuck up?
Dude.
How bad is this situation? Oh, that's awesome.
See, I kind of feel like he's like, lady, I'm trying to help you out here, okay? I'm a military pilot. I ejected out of the plane. Has anybody? We need to get rescue. This thing is going to crash somewhere.
That's
People
so
might
funny.
die. You got to get some rescue going here.
Have not seen any come up yet. What part of the body was injured?
Like, I'm fine.
Ma'am, I'm a pilot in a military aircraft, and I ejected. So I just rode a parachute down to the ground. Can you please send an ambulance?
Yes, sir. I've already told you they're on their way. I'm just required to ask these questions while
That's
they're en
pretty
route.
awesome.
Pretty awesome. So I don't know how much of that call obviously was redacted, but definitely not the whole call. So I don't know.
So what are they saying? What is the government saying the issue was?
The government
Haven't said shit yet?
haven't said shit yet.
Right. 'Cause
They
Brian-
had a 2-day safety stand down throughout the
Right.
entire eastern seaboard, and none of these planes were flying. They were going over stuff like this. I've heard different things.
Yeah.
I think I talked to you about this the other day, but
Because that's what Brian says. From what I've heard, he was literally ejected. The airplane was like, nope, you're done.
yes, and that's that. I've heard that. I've also heard that essentially somehow or the autopilot was able to engage without the pilot's input, and he was unable to take control of the vehicle again. And then just through sheer, going down the checklist, I don't have control of the aircraft anymore. I have to eject.
Yeah.
Bing, bang, boom.
We've also heard
there's been some
things as
hacking things.
nefarious, as
Indeed.
hacking that the actual jet was hacked and the autopilot was engaged and that the pilot was ejected unwillingly.
Yes.
We obviously don't know any of that stuff. The people involved in making these planes are getting their asses chewed. I fucking bet.
Oh, I bet. Oh, yeah, because they've had no end of problems with this entire program for so long. But thank God the local news is doing their best work out there, and they actually found the closest thing to an eyewitness that was able to be discovered from that heard the plane go down.
So I did my due diligence as your co-host and saw this video and purposely didn't watch it.
Yes!
So that I could watch it first here.
Okay.
It came up on my feed and I was like, oh, this must be what Colin's talking about. I was like, oh no, I can't watch this. Like, I have to
No,
fucking wait.
You can't. So I give to you, everybody, the glory that
Fire that dispatcher. She's
the
incompetent.
local
Yeah,
news.
she's fucking dumb. That woman is an idiot.
That was not great.
In the bathroom taking a shave, and I heard a screeching, saw that between a screech and a whistle. I said, what in the world is this? And I heard a boom. Then my whole house shook.
White says he didn't realize it was a plane at the time, so he didn't call anybody.
The first thought came to me, I said,
It's supposed to be, it's like a super duper crazy secret plane, right?
Yeah,
Like
it's a
has-
stealth fighter.
Yeah, so it has like there are like paint that you can't fucking see and like all the things, right?
Yeah.
So I bet if it's crashing, it does sound wild as fuck.
Oh, for sure. You ever been to an air show?
No, I've been under like the Blue Angels before, but
Yeah.
not like a big one than that.
Them
Only
motherfuckers are loud
Right.
as shit. The day we were recording a podcast, and they had the
Yes.
flyover super
Yes.
low, the whole goddamn house shook, dude. I was like, okay, when's the plane gonna crash on us? That's how loud it was.
The project is 1.2 trillion, and they have been 50-50 in terms of being capable of completing the mission. Oh fuck!
it might come out of space or something. And I said, well, if the airplane, it needed a report, but the thing flying is too low.
The F-35B airplane wreckage created an extensive debris field. The wreckage is located off Old Georgetown Road. Military security is very tight, with numerous red and white signs on the...
So that was
The debris
the local.
field that is weird. It's okay, so it's not.
They're probably just not
uncharacteristic.
allowed to show it.
I mean, the things we've seen of the debris field. It's not uncharacteristic of the military. So, like, I'm not like it's weird that they fucking picked everything up. That's not
not
weird. But it is, like I said, it's very Shanksville-esque. It harkens back to a time in which we were also hesitant about what an airplane crash looked like. So
Indeed. There's a little bit more footage there that
I don't even
were
know
able to find.
What does an F-35 look like? You want to see a picture of one?
Oh, dude, yeah, they're fucking mean looking. Actually, I'm pretty sure I have one in action that I have
Why is he
saved.
wearing a dentist radiation vest? Because he fucking just heard an F-35 fly over, bro. Who knows what's happening after that?
I don't know what that was.
He probably thinks it's a bulletproof vest. He's like, it's made of lead. That's metal.
It's metal. It's fine.
That'll do it. It is a weird thing that he's wearing. You have a picture of one somewhere?
Yes. I have a video of them somewhere.
Oh.
And I might have thrown it into international because the Swedes just got some. And there's a picture of them doing a...
From us? We make these, right?
Yes. I think this is it. Loading. Yes. Okay. So this comes from Reuters, right? This is a Lockheed Martin F-35A. So the one that crashed was a B, the newer model stuff that's going on. But it lands on a lands on motorway.
It can.
We don't have motorways in the United States, right?
Take off from like still or some shit, right?
Yeah, it can do vertical landings, vertical takeoff.
That's pretty wild.
Yes.
For a plane.
Yes. So there is a picture of one here.
And it shoots missiles from like underneath it. Well, don't really shoot shit, right? Because it's a stealth plane. Well, it does.
I mean, you
can
can put missiles on.
You shoot stuff
for sure. But they had the video. Maybe they'll play it after this commercial here. Let's just fucking roll past it. Yeah, here we go. So we've got a pair of them that were landing on a highway over in Sweden.
Because you just fly them over?
Yeah. And so, yeah, you can really reduce the ability to land on a very small piece of land or something like that.
Yeah, that was right.
And now think about the use of that as far as like military strategy and tactics to say, I don't know, in the Pacific Ocean that are full of super tiny islands that we all fought for no fucking reason other than to build and maintain an airfield on in World War II.
Yeah.
Now you cut the size of that required airfield in, you know,
like
at least in half.
Or whatever, yeah.
Because you can do that.
That's pretty wild.
But yeah, the concept is pretty dope, right? But there's just been no end to issues.
I know a man who was making...
mean-looking fucking planes, though, man. I gotta say,
engine cones for F-16s this week.
Oh shit!
Pretty cool.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, that is mean-looking.
Yep. So that's the F-35.
I do like how sleek it looks. That's very cool.
That's what makes it so hard to find. If you lose one, radar can't pick them up.
There's no angles on it or anything. That's weird, bro. I don't get it. Planes are weird. Flying is weird. None of this shit makes any sense.
No, nothing makes sense to me anymore.
It's fucking magic, bro.
But yeah, it was a pretty wild deal. Just the fact that lost control of an airplane, of a fighter jet, over our own soil on a training mission.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, pilot had to eject.
Can we?
Not a good deal.
Can we shoot on breaking points for a second?
When can we not do that?
Because when they were talking about this, they were talking about, so irresponsible that they, lost this multi-million-dollar jet, and I can't believe they would let something like this happen. It's just so crazy, and all this shit. So they were very, very up in arms about the loss of this one military plane over domestic territory, right? But will still to this day defend the pullout from Afghanistan to the end, and not one time mention the literally billions of dollars in equipment that we left over there for the Taliban to just do whatever the fuck they want with. The Blackhawks, the missiles, the armor, the guns, the everything that we left there.
All things.
Not one fucking mention of that. That doesn't matter at all. The multiple hundreds of billions of dollars worth of equipment that we left there, that doesn't matter. This one plane that was potentially hacked by a different nation, this is a travesty. This we cannot stand for. I just
cannot stand for this.
In what type of consistency do you have? None at all. Absolutely none. That you're going to make a whole segment about this thing, but nothing to say about the multiple billions of dollars of equipment we left after spending trillions of dollars, over $1 trillion over there, walked away, leaving a couple $100 billion more. What are we doing? What are you doing with yourself?
Did you happen to listen to that Dave Smith episode I told you about?
No.
Oh, okay. So it's fantastic because he did like his own little version of breaking down breaking points, and it was primarily geared towards a segment they had from like another person on there. So he was talking about minimum wage, this, that, and the other thing. But I think he classified them right, because he said he's very, very disappointed in what they have done, and essentially they've become a leftist propaganda channel. Like the things they talk about, the things they support, are not what Breaking Point's used to be. And I was like, Dave knows what he's fucking talking about. But that's how you can't. Anything Crystal Ball looks at, right?
Yes.
Is only through the lens of one issue. Doesn't matter any tertiary issues that go along with it. And they're incapable of looking at Afghanistan as anything other than we had to pull out of Afghanistan.
Right.
Didn't matter how it was done. It just is done. So that is good in their minds. Whereas you and I both have a brain and a couple brain cells we can rub together to create a little electricity, and we can say, yes, it is a good thing that we pulled out of Afghanistan. Boy, was this the absolute worst and wrong way to do it.
Yeah. And
how atrocious was it, and how a sign of a fucking crumbling empire it is, and all the callbacks to Vietnam and all this shit. We can look at the picture in like a very holistic manner. But Breaking Point is due to, I'm assuming, their audience capture, is only allowed to look at it through the lens of, doesn't matter what happened, doesn't matter about all the money and guns and equipment that we left over there, all the reverse engineering that's going to come from that when Iran comes in to work to really insert themselves.
Let me get the tally scientists in there.
Yeah, the tally scientists
Take that
will do
fucker apart. Tell me how it works.
Yes, but they can't even begin to think about that in that nature, because then they might have a small thing in their head and be like, well, maybe we shouldn't have done this, and they can't handle the fact that maybe we just should not have shut down Bergam Air Force Base and then pulled out of there with a nice transit, nice overturn, maybe a changing of command with the people that we had trained for 2 decades over there to protect their own country, but instead of just pulling the colloquial ejector seat and get the fuck out. But
set up a big ass fence with a ton of 50 cals on it. Bring all the shit inside of the walls in a fucking in a line and just fly it out. Just a series of fucking continuous fucking flights until everything is gone. That we don't need.
Yes, you had a secure air base. You had a secure air base that you could have fucked with, but you didn't. But yeah, Breaking Point, they're not capable of doing that, because then they might have to entertain other inconvenient truths in the rest of their narratives.
They are just the worst.
Yes, can confirm. It was so bad over the last 2 weeks. I struggled to. We don't have any Breaking Points clips this week, because they were all just so atrocious. It was like easy. It was too. You can't do it. There's not a hair of truth to be had in any of their shit. Over half of their programming now is just dedicated to, 2024 is in full effect. It's all fucking here now. So all we're going to do is talk about polls, and then how you shouldn't trust the polls. But then here, let me talk about this whole thing as a poll. I don't know why. I don't even know how they have any relevance, man. It really, really bothers me. But it was a perfect example when they were talking about the F35, like you said. Not even to mention the fact that we did this, 2 years ago, Afghanistan?
Closing in 2 years, yeah.
That's it? And you can't even remember what actually happened?
Right.
Remember all the videos of all the fucking Taliban coming in there, going into hangars, and there's just guns everywhere, and there's all this shit, flying around Black Hawks a couple days later.
I like them working out. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, that was real good. But they can't even comprehend that, because that'll just fuck with their narrative too much.